Hi guys, what's happening? It is now Tuesday. I'm here a little later. Had to run some errands. 12:42 Oven Standard Time. I'm Paul McVeigh. I've got my coffee with me. Got some smokes here. And ready to do some wasted lunch. Ready to chit chat. Talk about whatever's going on. Feel free to hop on here, comment or whatever, and we can rapport. Converse. Communicate. Damn, that coffee's hot. Wow. I said, damn, that coffee's hot. I just about burnt my whiffs off. Scratcha. Checking some things off. What's happening, Mark? How are things in your neck of the woods, dude? I'm on here a little bit late. What's going on, my honky? I hope things are going fantastic for you. I think I'm going to talk about a film that's very close to my heart today. Which I'm pretty sure you've seen it, Mark, but I don't know if any, maybe not everybody watching this has seen this fine piece of cinematic art, and that is The Toxic Avenger.
Oh, God.
Yes, The Toxic Avenger.
About as exciting as getting it.
Toxic Avenger is exciting. My wife's over there arguing with me. She hates the film. I absolutely love it. The first one especially. Yes. Mark, did you see that flick? I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was a good movie. Low budget, yes. Cheesy, yes. Horrible in ways, yeah. Disgusting, yes. It's kind of like Three Stooges, the humor in it. And if you're not familiar with it, guys, it's about, it takes place in a town called Tromaville, New Jersey, which is the toxic waste dumping capital of the world. And that's their big claim to fame. And a 98-pound weakling who works as a mop boy at the local health club ends up, he's the mockery of the town and of the health club, always getting picked on and beat up and all that good shit. See, Mark's seen it. Good flick. Yes. And the character, the 98-pound weakling, is Melvin Ferd, which is kind of weird because in the sequels they refer to him as Melvin Junko. I don't know why the hell they changed his last name because I thought Ferd was a much funnier sounding last name. Melvin Ferd. But some assholes at the health club end up playing a trick on poor Melvin, and he ends up falling into a barrel of toxic chemical waste, which then transforms him from a 98-pound weakling into a, 6.5-foot tall, muscle-bound, deformed, mutated, crime-fighting superhero. One of his eyes is drooping and the other one's up. And what's funny about this superhero, I guess you could say, is they pulled this trick on Melvin. They tricked him into wearing a tutu, and when he fell into this barrel of toxic chemical waste, ended up melting the tutu some. So he's running around in tights, essentially, with a tutu that are now stained a brownish green, nasty color, and of course the way he has, it's kind of like Spider-Man. Spidey has the spider sense, only Melvin has he has traumatons in his system, they call them, and he senses crimes being committed and then has to go out and thwart evildoers. And of course Melvin, even though he transformed through the toxic chemical waste, still has his mop with him, which he uses in his crime fighting. he uses against his enemies, and sometimes in very horrific ways. He dispatches his enemies, and that's what's funny about the movie. This guy's a crime fighter, but I mean, he is brutalizing people.
Why don't you crime fight some of these spiders in this house?
Who, me?
Yes.
My wife wants me to crime fight spiders in the house.
They're driving me crazy. They're everywhere.
Yeah, he's beating people to death with a mop, you know, impaling them with a mop handle, bashing people's skulls. All around a good film. Not necessarily for the kiddies, but
good times.
Yeah. But now I did not watch all of the sequels. I saw the first couple sequels, and the thing about the Toxic Avenger, the second one kind of made fun of the first movie in a way. It was humor. The first movie was humorous. I'm not saying the first movie took itself completely serious, but the second movie really poked a lot of fun at the whole, I don't know, series of it, and went really silly. But in the second movie, Melvin ends up going to Japan to find his biological father, who he's led to believe is a Japanese businessman, but and all kinds of shenanigans and hijinks take place in Japan. But back to the first Toxic Avenger movie, you know, I mean, he, like I said, there were some very creative ways that he dispatched his enemies, you know, the criminals. And one of the scenes, he ends up fighting those guys in the fast food Mexican restaurant and bakes one of the guys. Turns one guy's face into a milkshake. Deep fries one of the, you know. So, you know, and these were done graphically, you know, very graphic. I mean, he shoves a guy's face into the milkshake blender, and it's grinding up his face, and, you know, then bakes the one guy like a pizza, and then ends up, you know, he does all kinds of things to these bad guys, ripping their arms off, beating them with them, and I don't know, I thought it was funny. I thought it was a funny-ass flick. But, there was, ended up being a movie, Last Temptation of Toxie. Of course, that would be a play on the old Last Temptation of Christ movie, which I did see that. That was, speaking of that movie, that was a big controversy when that came out. I don't even want to go there about that. It's been a long time since I've seen that flick. But, you know, yeah, good old Toxic Avenger, who is the kind of figurehead of Trauma Films, you know, which they made a lot of real cheesy, sleazy, low-budget movies, one of which I have also is Tromeo and Juliet. That one was not as high up there on the rankings with me as far as like Toxic Avenger, though. Did you ever see Tromeo and Juliet, guys? It was, I don't know if it was filmed in New Jersey or whatever. Modern day Romeo and Juliet with excessive sleaze and, you know, sexual content, and of course it had to have its gore too. Yeah, Tromeo and Juliet. They also had the movie Class of Nukem High. Then they released the masterpiece Surf Nazis Must Die. You ever seen that one? But yeah, Trauma Pictures there. They released quite a few cheesy flicks. As far as I know, they're still in business. You know, they're still making movies on a shoestring budget. But they've got a big cult following behind them, so I know I am not alone. I'm not going to say that I think what they make is pure solid gold cinema, because it isn't solid gold cinema. It's trash cinema. But I don't care if it's trash cinema as long as it's entertaining. Now, Vincent, you watched the Toxic Avenger movie with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of that fine feature film?
Are you alright, honey?
It wasn't a fine feature.
You didn't think it was a fine feature film? You weren't entertained?
I mean, on one of them I was, but the other one was just like, come on.
The first one, what did you think of the first picture here?
Yeah,
I'm
I
asking
think
Vinny.
the first one was pretty.
And the second one, he went to Japan.
And then there was like the fourth one we watched, just, you know.
Yeah, they started getting really bad. Those Toxic Avengers started getting really, when I say cheesy, I mean they were really bad.
Yeah.
As in not even entertaining.
Are you okay, honey?
They tried too hard.
Vincent?
Yeah, they did try too
Are you
hard.
alright?
But my wife absolutely hates the Toxic Avenger. I'm not sure exactly why. But my dog is going bananas here. But oh my gosh, Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, if you ever get a chance, watch that stuff. Fire stick this stuff, though. I wouldn't waste my money on buying that stuff on DVD, although I've already wasted my money on buying it on DVD. I'm gonna try and find out right now. Honey, why did you not like the Toxic Avenger anyways?
What video game?
What video game?
I don't know.
Teresa, why did you not like the Toxic Avenger?
Because it was
Wait, what are you
horrible.
looking for?
This needle set?
I don't know. What's going on with you guys anyways?
It wasn't here.
What's happening? Where in the Halliburton?
One needle.
What about Toxic Avenger? What's going on? You guys on your lunch break or what? Taking it easy? Nobody's on here.
Because you're talking about that
Yeah, what about
movie.
Toxic Avenger? Yeah, well, what, you're saying I scared everybody off by talking about Toxic Avenger?
Yeah. It's a horrible ass movie.
I probably saw it first when I was about 13, 14, I guess.
Saw it when I was about the same age, actually.
Really? And why did you think it was a horrible movie? You didn't think it was entertaining at all?
No.
It wasn't entertaining at all. Just thought it was dumb or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
It's like the second or the third one or the fourth one. They tried way too hard to be funny. Way too hard.
No.
I hate movies
It
like
was
that.
it was very bad.
They did. They started going really,
Overboard trying to be funny.
yeah. Something changed in the Toxic Avenger movies.
I'd say the first one was pretty funny though. It wasn't bad.
I am not finding this. I know I put it
It's
on
another movie that I have never seen out by Trauma, and that is Poultrygeist.
Yes, we gotta watch that.
Benny, you've seen that?
No,
you never saw Poultrygeist?
We both watched the commercial.
Watch the trailers for Poultrygeist,
Yeah,
but I have never seen Poultrygeist, alright? Another movie, although it's not a trauma film, but reminds me of a trauma type movie like Toxic Avenger, because it is so gooey and gruesome, that I don't think a lot of people have seen, is a film called Street Trash. And in this movie, takes place in, I don't know if it's Jersey City or wherever. I think it takes place in New Jersey. I don't know. You see New York City in the
I
background.
have no idea where
But,
this freaking thing is.
in this movie,
I'll give it to her.
Street Trash, this liquor store owner
Well, you want to go
stumbles
tell them
upon
that?
this cache
I'll
of
get it. Hold on.
old
I had it in here, but I
booze,
don't know where it is.
and decides to sell it from his liquor store. Here, the shit is toxic, and when people drink it, they end up disintegrating into goop. And very icky movie. The same kind of humor as Toxic Avenger.
Did you see a old sewing kit
Mom,
rusty?
do we have any of these movies?
No, I didn't see
I don't
the
think
sewing
we
kit.
borrowed anything from you. Have we? you?
I didn't see a sewing kit.
These ones.
But,
Mr. Brooks and Jennifer's Body.
That's what you got?
Yeah.
this movie, yeah, is very goopy,
Borrow it beside me.
very
I have it
gory,
beside me.
very icky, funny, but the same kind of humor as the first
Should
Toxic
we
Avenger.
write that down?
You know, there's a lot of
Yeah, write it
crude,
down.
adult humor in it.
Are they still here?
Okay, it's definitely
Here.
not the kind of flick you want to watch with your
Hey,
in-laws
Vinny.
or something if they're, you know, stuffed shirts.
Here's
But yeah, Street Trash, you ought to, if you're into gore and humor, Street Trash is a good one to check out. I think it's kind of a hidden gem. It's gory and nasty to the max, man. But that's another movie now. My son Vincent is about to be 18, so I don't have to feel bad about introducing him to some of these movies. You know, he's going to be an adult. So, Vincent, you've never seen Street Trash, have you? I don't think you've seen it.
No, I haven't. I've seen something crazy with it.
But Street Trash is a good one.
There was one with like this old lady rat. Where she
An old
got
lady rat?
infected by a rat.
Oh, that was Dead Alive. Another one of my favorites. Yeah, Dead Alive. I think I've talked about it before, but I'm not sure. One of Peter Jackson's earlier movies.
Are you alright?
Which was, you know, zombie comedy.
What?
I'm alright.
Dead Alive.
Well,
Great movie by Peter Jackson.
I feel bad.
Another
but
one that my wife hates, but
You're like
I love.
my
You know,
awesomeness, and
if you like gore and stuff like that, Dead Alive is definitely one you want to check
I
out.
like medicine, but you know
It's
what?
gruesome as hell,
You
but
can't.
funny.
You can't date.
Because the zombie
You're gonna
outbreak
date
that ends up happening in a
I can't stand that.
New Zealand town in the 1960s is all starts out because of the bite from a Sumatran rat monkey.
Worried about himself.
Sumatran rat
He
monkey
makes Francis happy.
ends up biting somebody
So it's not
at
for
a
me to
zoo
say.
in, I'm trying to think,
there's
Wellington,
still in the driveway.
New England? Yes, Wellington, New Zealand. Did I say New England? I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. New Zealand. Ends up biting somebody, biting the main character's mother, old lady. It starts
Do you think I should get back with her or something?
a
No.
zombie plague
Is that going to make
that
you
ends
happy?
up spreading,
All right then.
and
feel
there
bad
ends up
for
being
you
lots of
'cause you like
zombies,
It's not about me.
and
I know.
ends up being lots of zombies
Can't
in the
stay
movie,
with people
which the main character,
because you're worried
whose
about
mom
making
first
somebody
became
else
infected,
happy.
tries to hide his mother, who's now a zombie, in the basement. Okay, other people are getting infected, turning into zombies.
That is the most. That's worse than the Toxic Avenger.
Anybody hear that? I mean,
I would watch the Toxic Avenger 2 more times in my
let's
life
come over here and talk
before
about
I watch that gosh Dead
it.
Alive.
Now, come over here. Let's hear an opposing viewpoint on this film. Come on. Let's hear. Let me close. Got something on a chair here. Let's hear my wife's opinion on this. All right, because you know, not everybody watching this necessarily has the same flavors, like the same flavors as I do. Let's hear my wife's opinion. All right, we'll start this out again. We'll try this again here. Dead Alive. Awesome, fantastic horror, gore comedy. That's my opinion.
If I wasn't married to you, I think you were high.
Really?
I'm not into grotesque humor, though. I'm not into 2 zombies getting it on and having a zombie. I'm not. I didn't find anything enjoyable
It
about
is
this
true.
movie.
It is true. There are a couple zombies end up procreating in the film.
And they show it.
And they have a zombie baby. And it's probably worse because it's a zombie priest
Yeah.
and a zombie nurse.
Yeah.
And they have a zombino,
Yeah.
little baby zombie boy.
It's terrible. It's
who
a terrible
runs around.
movie.
So, I'm just saying that right now, so if that doesn't seem to, if that turns you off, I guess it's not your kind of movie.
I don't like the scary movies because they have that same vulgarity, grotesque kind of humor, and I don't find it funny. Meet the Feebles? Another Jackson?
Oh yeah, another Peter
That's
Jackson
horrible.
movie, Meet the Feebles.
That's horrible.
It's classic.
I'm surprised that
Classic.
man was allowed to make Lord of the Rings. I've got food on, honey.
Meet the Feebles was kind of like an X-rated Muppet movie, which is funny because now the people who made the Muppets now came out with the rated R or NC-17 or something movie, but Peter Jackson did it first with Meet the Feebles, which is about a theater group, okay? They're all puppets, animals. I don't think there's any humans in the movie.
No.
It's all puppets.
Yes.
And it's kind of like the Muppet Show. You know, it's about this theater troupe, and they're in a kind of rundown theater.
Vinny, you want some mashed potatoes?
Working on their shows and practicing and stuff. Only these characters, unlike the Muppets, have drug addictions and are involved in pornography and all kinds of things like that. There's
after their movie or whatever that is.
Scandal amongst this theater company. There's Vice. There's
but you gotta
there's
they might not be feeling up to it yet.
Drug addicted frog who's
a
heroin addict in the movie. There's
I don't understand.
Well, you know what? This is not going to be a kids episode of this show. All right, period. Don't let your kids watch us. Do not let your kids watch this episode. Period. If you haven't figured out that your kids should not be watching this episode of Wasted Lunch, then I can't help you. You got problems. But there's a drug addicted frog. Okay, in Meet the Feebles. I think he's a heroin addict.
Do you want some?
There is a panty sniffing aardvark, okay, in it. There is a sleazy tabloid reporter, okay, who's a fly. All right. Then, one of the main characters in this film is a stuttering porcupine or hedgehog. I don't know the difference. He's porcupine, named Wobbert. No, he's not stuttering. He has a speech impediment. Oh my gosh, there's a giant hippo, female hippo, who used to be a starlet. You know, she's kind of beyond her years, beyond her fame. She's no longer famous anymore. And she still sees herself as a star. The theater company is all ran by an organized crime figure type guy who's actually a giant walrus. Okay. It's just very sleazy and very crude. That kind of humor. And, so...
Looks like her mother broke up with me, too.
If you don't think drug-addicted frogs, with shell shock are funny, then you're not going to like Meet the Feebles. But that was one of Peter Jackson's early flicks there. And that was one of the movies that I saw and knew about Peter Jackson before Lord of the Rings. And saw that he made the Lord of the Rings movies. That's one of the reasons why I said... How the hell did this guy end up being able to make this picture? You see Meet the Feebles, you'll see what I'm talking about.
No, that's not my point. I feel bad because she's crying in my face.
Gave this guy the money to make the Lord of the Rings movies?
When she is not here, I don't feel bad for her.
You want to see a sleazy perverted,
Okay,
bizarre
there's a difference.
twist
I don't sit there,
adult
poor
version
Madison.
of the Muppet Show. Watch
Think
Meet the
about
Feebles.
Madison. I think
haven't
about
seen this
what's
new
best
Muppet
for
movie
Vincent.
or this new
And if
movie
he's
made
not
by
happy
the makers
with
of
Madison,
the Muppets, but Meet
that's
the
not
Feebles
best
did it
for
first
Vincent.
by Peter
I
Jackson.
felt bad because she started
Yet
crying
another
again.
movie that I think is
When I saw her at
hilarious.
school, she started
But
crying
my
again.
wife completely hates. All right.
But I'm like, oh, poor Madison.
You know, luckily
I wish
our
Vinny
marriage is
would've
not
dated her
built
forever.
on
No, that's not the case.
our agreement on what makes fine film.
I mean, if you see somebody crying
really
in the
have
street
trouble,
or
but-
something, you feel bad because you don't know why they're crying.
There you go.
Right? And they're
Today's
sad.
Wasted Lunch, presenting some films
That's the
for
only
your
difference.
consideration. I think I've said enough about the movies to where, you know, subject, you should have an idea whether or not you want to see these movies. But
Don't feel bad for the decisions you make.
consider them. If you guys watch these movies, get back on Wasted Lunch or comment. Let me hear what you think about them. Whether you hated them, liked them.
Never seen them.
Yeah.
If that's
know,
the
whether
case,
you-
please don't waste your
But like
life.
I said, I think I've given enough information about the movies to where I warned you. Okay, guys? But I'm going to hop off of here and maybe consider actually eating lunch. And I'll be back on here tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be on time tomorrow. But today, like I said, I was running errands, so that didn't happen. But, all right, guys, whatever you do, have a good time doing it. Stay out of trouble. Stay safe, and I'll see you later, all right? Bye.